Fazbear Entertainment is home to a whole military's worth of state-of-the-art robots, ranging from tiny little plush bots, or endos capable of knife fighting your daddy to death, and a giant spider radio, capable of laying the smackdown to King Kong. And today, in our very first entry into the vast history of the Freddy Fazbear's franchise, we'll be taking a look at the very first animatronic, El Chip.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hello everybody, you ready to have a good time? I know I am.
I will make you proud, Daddy.
For one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened its funnel hole. So don't keep the devil waiting, friend. End communication.
Before any die-hard FNAF fans come at me, technically the first ever animatronic would be Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, the bear and rabbit Springlock suits from Fredbear's Family Diner. But that's in the lore of the Five Nights at Freddy's games. Yeah, that's right, good old El Chip predates the entirety of FNAF. In the year 2013, a whole 10 years at the time of making this video, Chipper was just a single dad who owned and operated a lumber company with the help of his son Tyke. They even had woodcutting robots designed after themselves. Chipper was a simple man, however his whole world would end after internet critics attacked his game, with one of the key complaints being that they looked like lifeless animatronics. This would be the moment Chipper the Beaver disappeared. At least until 2016. However, before getting into that, it's interesting to note that the game's creator Scott Cawthon almost included Chipper, or a version of him, in the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, with Scott saying the fourth animatronic came down to either a fox or a beaver, but decided against the buck-toothed furry due to it being too on the nose. 2 years after the release of the Five Nights at Freddy's game in 2014, Scott would release FNAF World, a non-canon spin-off where he would adventure the world of animatronica. Or something. And along with some of the enemy types resembling a familiar-looking beaver design, Chipper himself would return in the form of Chipper's Revenge, a giant Terminator version of the former lumber company CEO, and one of the hardest bosses in the game. And along with this, FNAF World's Update 2 would see Chipper get added as a playable character in its basic beaver form. In 2017, after a few more FNAF games, we would get Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, where the player took on the responsibilities of owning and operating their own Freddy Fazbear's franchise. And while running your restaurant, you have the option to buy the El Chip mascot from the Posh Pizzeria animatronics, where he's grouped up with Funtime Chica and Music Man. El Chip, like most animatronics in Pizza Sim, is non-hostile. Or, well, depending on your definition of that. After acquiring the optional robot, the player might get hit with a jarring El Chip pop-up ad during the night shift, advertising El Chip's Fiesta Buffet. Chipper would appear again the following year in 2018, with the next entry in the series' Ultimate Custom Night, where he serves the exact same purpose when he's selected as an optional character to face off against. Yeah, even in UCN, a game canonically set in hell to torment child killer William Afton, El Chip still doesn't bring any harm to the player. I mean, sure, in FNAF World he wanted revenge on the FNAF gang for stealing the fame he rightfully deserved, but he'd never hurt a human. You're a potential customer after all. El Chip will be referenced here and there in the next few games, with Help Wanted featuring some El Chip branded snacks, and Freddy in Space 2 featuring an Easter egg involving Chipper and Tyke flying around in space. However, in the latest entry in the FNAF series, 2021's Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, this new era of El Chip would debut in a big way. Within the gigantic Pizzaplex, there are sections dedicated and themed after each animatronic, mainly just Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy to a very light degree, Roxy and Monty. Yes, the daycare attendant and DJ Music Man have their own locations, but they don't really seem like they're built for one another. Now, outside of the main characters of the game, and the other two main faces of the franchise, the only other animatronic to get their own dedicated space is none other than El Chip, whose restaurant can be found on the 3rd floor. Chipper, or El Chip, may not be the most popular animatronic. He may not sell the most plushies, action figures, or other official merchandise that really does exist. But without this wannabe lumber tycoon, we never would have gotten Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Thank you for watching, feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time. Have a nice day. Adios. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this, how about checking out the newest issue of the VHS comic book series, The Bear E's Scary Cheesy Pizza Special, an unofficial parody of Five Nights at Freddy's. For legal reasons, it relies heavily on a tragedy at Domino's Pizza, an inspiration from Chuck E. Cheese. But hey, if you like FNAF, you'll like this.